Hello and welcome to Lantern Lane Stories. Tonight's story is Sofia in the White Boat for Iemanjá. The alarm had not rung yet, but Sofia's eyes opened wide outside her window. The sky was still dark purple down the hallway. She heard her avó, grandmother, moving softly. The smell of fresh coffee drifted under Sofia's door. "Come," her grandmother called gently. "We have something important to wear today." Sofia put on her fuzzy slippers and felt the cool floor under her feet. In the living room, laid across the sofa, sat something beautiful, a dress as white as foam on the ocean, white socks, white ribbons, even a white headband with a tiny shell sewn into it. "Why am I dressed like the moon?" Sofia asked, laughing. Her grandmother knelt down and took her small hand. "Today is February 2nd. Today, all of Rio wears white. We go to the sea and we listen to her story." The taxi drove through sleeping Rio as the sun began to whisper hello, but the streets were not empty. More people appeared block by block, all in white. Mothers in white sundresses, fathers in white shirts, unbuttoned at the collar, children in white shorts, holding their parents' hands, old men in white linen, little girls in white bows. "Why so many?" Sofia asked from the back seat. Because her avó said, watching the white river of people, "One woman cannot ask the sea for safety. One family cannot, but all of us together, the sea listens. She has always listened." The taxi turned a corner, and the Atlantic Ocean appeared. The sky had turned pink and gold now. But the beach was white with thousands upon thousands of people. Sofia's grandmother held her hand as they stepped from the warm sand onto the cooler sand near the water. Everywhere, people moved like water themselves, slowly and with purpose. Sofia saw an old woman place a bundle of white flowers into the sea. Nearby, a man held a white paper boat shaped like the one's fisherman's sail. A little boy, no older than Sofia, walked to the water's edge with his mother, both of them carrying white candles. "Come," her avó whispered. "We must find our place." They walked to a quiet spot where the beach curved like a listening ear. The grandmother took from her bag a small white boat made from palm leaves and decorated with white ribbons. Inside sat white flowers, sugar, a tiny white candle. "This is for Iemanjá," her grandmother said. "Mother of the waters. She watches over fishermen, over all who sail, over anyone brave enough to cross the sea." "Who is she?" Sofia asked. "Long, long ago, 300 years ago, there was a mighty river in Africa." Her avó began, kneeling beside Sofia in the sand. The Yoruba people knew a river goddess. They called her Iemanjá. She was old and wise and powerful. When people were taken from Africa on terrible ships to Brazil, they brought their beliefs in their hearts. Her grandmother continued, her voice soft as the waves. The goddess traveled with them. She changed names. She became Iemanjá in Brazil. She became the ocean itself, because the ocean was the only freedom they knew. Sofia felt the ocean breeze on her face, cool and salt-tinged, as if Iemanjá herself had come to listen. Sofia's grandmother stood, holding the palm leaf boat. Her eyes were closed and her lips moved without sound. Around them, thousands of other people stood the same way. The sun touched the horizon now, painting everything in shades of apricot and rose. "Now," her avó whispered. She waded into the shallow water, the sand cool between her toes, and Sofia followed. The ocean was warmer than Sofia expected. It felt alive. Gently, her grandmother set the white boat on the water. For a moment, it floated in her palms like a bird ready to fly. Then she released it. The boat bobbed, the waves caught it gently. It moved toward the horizon, toward something invisible and vast. What will happen to it? Sofia asked. The sea will accept it, her grandmother said. And everyone on the ocean, every fisherman, every sailor, every person who depends on the water will be a little bit safer. Because we remembered, because we showed respect, because we said thank you. Sofia watched her white boat disappear into the sunrise. All around the beach, thousands of white boats moved out to sea like a field of white birds taking flight. Sofia and her avó walked slowly home through the afternoon heat. At home, Sofia rested on her bed, listening to the distant sound of the ocean. The white dress hung on her chair, still smelling of salt water and sea air. As the sun began to sink behind Rio's green mountains, Sofia's eyes grew heavy. She thought of her little white boat somewhere out on the Atlantic. She thought of Iemanjá watching over sailors, keeping them safe in the dark. Outside her window, Rio de Janeiro began to quiet. The streets grew soft. The sounds of the city grew distant, like waves on sand. Fishermen's boats came in from the sea, safe and whole. Doors closed gently. Lights went out one by one across the city. And so Rio also slowly fell asleep. Good night.